Well, hi there. I'll try this and see. Okay, hi, it's Susan at Seaside Stitches, and I'm just coming on to say good afternoon. It is Friday sews. I think it's my 9th one, and I've been absent for a little while, although putting in videos about my sewing room. But I'm just doing a check now to see if you can see me. Okay, I'm going to take a chance now, and actually that's what I'm going to talk about as well in a minute. I'm going to take a chance and see if I can just do a very short video. I'm going to do 10 minutes, and I won't have checked whether I can see, you can see me or not, so let's see how that goes. My main reason for coming on is this wonderful thing, and I would like an opinion, please. Now, I started to make the Orage dress from Deer and Doe, and I'd cut it out. I mentioned on my last Friday sews that I had mistakenly cut it out after making the decision I wasn't going to use this French terry from Andrea at the Pink Door, just because it didn't have enough stretch for the neckband. And I made a couple of mistakes on, I was supposed to be grading in or grading out or something, and I hadn't done it right. Anyway, what I did was I put it together as a top, and I have managed to use some cotton jersey with lycra from Jenny Stitches, from a metre and a half that I'd set aside for a t-shirt. And I've done the neckband, and I haven't fastened it down yet at the front. So it's a little bit droopy, but when I've got it on, it doesn't look as odd as it looks now. I will put a photograph in. This is not stretchy enough, but this is. I don't know if I like it though. Very pleased with it. Not finished, and I'm always, when I watch a video and someone's like this with a coat hanger, it's like, watch your eyes. Yes, I should be careful. Just want to explain that this is not quite how it's meant to be here, and I will explain that when it's not in front of my face. But I did it on the toile, and again, there's more to discuss about it, but not just right now. So I love the colour on me. One of the things I want to discuss is whether or not to put a frill on the bottom from here. I've also just seen a pattern. It's a new look pattern, I think, where there is a bodice and then a low hip, kind of a gathered bit from there. What I've been playing about with for a couple of weeks, sorry, just hang on, for a couple of weeks is trying to work out which frill pattern I could use if I did do that. And I don't particularly want a big massive flounce thing, and I didn't really want a circular skirt or a part circular skirt, so I'm still working on what I would do, but I could happily leave it as a blouse and a top. So that's that bit. And when I was looking through the frills bit that I could use, I can't hold it up because I haven't got the pattern for it. I will put it on the screen. So a few months ago I fell in love with, well, at the release I think, or very shortly after the release, I fell in love with the idea of doing the Take the Chance dress from Pattern Emporium. And kind of straight away, I watch Kate's videos and they're awesome. She does several samples of what the dress could look like, and I just love how she says an easy breezy style, and she caught me with that phrase, and I thought I want something that's easy breezy. So I think I will have shared this in one of my vlogmases, but this is the fabric that I got. This is double at the moment, so let me just see. This is the fabric, and now I might have it upside down, whichever way I put it up, but it doesn't really matter. This is the fabric that I thought would be ideal in it. Really easy breezy and floaty, and it's like a shirt dress, an informal kind of shirt part, more informal than the Lyra dress, and then goes from the waist or above the waist or a little bit lower than the waist, if you want, however you want to do it, with a number of different tiers on it and several sleeve options, but quite a lightweight flowy kind of dress that I fancy doing with it. And so I've had this washed, ironed and rolled up in my stash, waiting for action, but everything else seemed to be needing to be more of a priority, and it's only just getting almost warm enough to even consider that we're going to have a summer. So I don't know if you're aware, but in the UK we don't have quite as distinct seasons as a lot of countries do. There isn't a traditional spring, not as traditional, I don't know what the word is, but a specific, suddenly it's spring and so then the sun is out and there may be a little bit of breeze, but it's quite often we can be wintry right through summer. It can be really warm from the end of summer through autumn, and also each day can be different. So it isn't that you suddenly start, don't suddenly start wearing spring things or summer-like things from a certain date and then put them all away, because they're interchangeable day to day. That's how I find it. That's how it is for me in the northwest of England, which in the UK, on the northwest coast. And also we've got the coastal breezes and things like that, and the gusts of wind. And although we also don't have as extreme a winter usually as a lot of other countries do, so it kind of flows more day to day, but you get an idea that maybe it's a bit more spring-like, a bit more cheery, a bit more vibrant. Anyway, that's a bit of just update really. So I do have this that I would like to start making something with, but at the moment I'm working on the frill for the blouse collar for I was thinking it was a McCall's, but it's New Look 6707, and I saw it first. I'm not sure where I saw it first, but where I got my interest peaked was looking at Sarah's video on Knotty Gnome Crafts, and I've just watched quite a few videos of her lately, and I really kind of can relate to what she's talking about and her wardrobe and the importance of it being a cohesive flowing wardrobe. So yes, I like that, and I've seen her wear that one. I've seen other people in it, and although she's definitely not my size or width or height, I can see a way of doing it. And I made a toile on the red sheeting fabric first, just the very basic bodice front and back, to see whether I could get it to fit, which highlighted which size I should make. Unfortunately, I only have it up to a 16, so if it had flowed into an 18, I'd have had to make some adjustments that I'd have made up myself. Okay, so I'll show you the fabric that I'm using for this. You couldn't really see it on that frill. Here it is. Okay, so that's the blouse I'm talking about, and if you can't see that, I'll put a picture in of it, and I'll put in the line drawings, etc. It's quite a common one now, and I think it's supposed to be easy. So far it's going well. Ooh. And the fabric I've chosen is, I had some problem with my interfacing, but I'm not going into that. Anyway, that is the fabric, and it's a Kaffe Fasette fabric, and I think it's called, I'm going to step in cushions, Paperweight. Yeah, so that's the front. I tried doing block fusing. Now, I would never do that, and I still don't understand how on earth you can actually manage. I've never put the iron on the back of interfacing ever, so I always put a sheet between. But what happens to the bit that you miss that's still attached? Never mind, let's leave it there. Okay, so yes, I'm really pleased with that. I'm quite looking forward. I've done the sleeves, which obviously inside out, but they are a very funny shape, these sleeves, and they do have a little cuff band on and a little bit of elastic, so it will be a bit up here ish. So it's a pleasure to sew it. I'm really pleased about it. Now there's one thing I wanted to say. Oh, and I did manage, I mentioned this a little while ago, on one of my things. I did manage to cover my iPad cover, if you understand what I mean, but you'd know more if you saw my video. My previous video, I think number 3 about my sewing room, I wanted to put this, make it a bit more decent, and I managed to do that, but the only bit that I couldn't get to stick, there was no way I was ironing this heat and bond on the back of this with my iPad inside it, or not inside it because it's a plastic cover. So we've just been and got some Copydex because the little bits at the end are coming off a little bit, but I'm so pleased with it. It's another lease of life for my iPad cover. It cost a fortune, and I'd already bought another one for it, but I told them it was the 6th edition, but apparently that didn't translate to the 6th edition cover that I was given in the shop, and it was wrapped up so I couldn't check it, and then I couldn't be bothered. I've replenished my whatever these are called from my rotary cutter, and I've been and got more silk pins because I really love these. I got these when I did the, I want to call it Devonshire, the Davenport dress, which I don't like. But anyway, I do like it. I don't like it on me, but I'll see how that goes in the summer when I can just trudge about in it rather than it make you feel like it's too fancy. Okay, so I wanted to say that I'm really sorry I haven't been videoing. I haven't been videoing for a number of reasons. One is that I've been under the weather. I'm not going into loads of detail about, oh, I want well here and I want well there, but I haven't been up to the mark really, either thinking wise or well wise. I've not been desperately poorly, but I've just been under the weather and not felt like, and also taking some tablets that have made me quite buggy. That's right, I've got, when you know, I don't know if you ever are in this situation where when you wake up in the morning you have to look above your eye bags here. So that's been me, and you've just got what I am today. I'm not really bothered. I've working this morning, so I've got a bit of a makeup on, and I did something different today. This is my another of my Yasmin dresses, the second one I made, and I made it in this So Purple to End ALZ 22. That's Michelle at Michelle Sews Again set up to make something purple in the month of September, and I made 3 things, and I did it quite quickly and I was very pleased about it, and I purposely left it without sleeves because I wanted to use it in a kind of pinafore kind of way, which is what I do, and I've got a number of choices of what colours I can put with it. But today I wore it with leggings underneath. Now that's not been my look for a number of years, and I have done a little video about why that is. I don't want to go into any detail now, and I will put a kind of caveat or warning or whatever. Have a medical issue, and I talk about that in that video, not in great detail because it is an intimate issue, and which is why I don't wear trousers and etc. It's all in that video. But there are a certain type of leggings that I can wear, and they've only been wintry leggings, but I thought I would try them today. So I suppose what I'm saying is I would really appreciate if any of you have been making sportswear, particularly, you know, running gear, Jennings, I can't get jeggings or leggings or whatever you call them, tights without feet, I can't, footless tights, yes, where there is a separate gusset, because I don't I want to be able to leave that out. So we'll leave it there and I'll leave it with you. So if you've come across any leggings that have a separate gusset, I would really appreciate knowing about that. And enough said there really. Yes, so I have been so overwhelmed by how many people have subscribed to my channel. Ever since I started, I've been overwhelmed. When it got to 50, I was overwhelmed. When it got to 200, I was like, I've got 200! And now I've got over 700, and it's like, thank you. Thank you everyone who has watched my channel, watched me stumbling about over my words and seen me with my wacky fabrics and have come back. And some of you, those of you who have never seen me before and are seeing me for the first time, hope you're not having to sit so far back from the screen because of my bright colours and I just love this fabric, and it looks awesome on me. Oh, the other thing, because I've been down and I hadn't put a colour on my hair, hadn't felt like going to have a colour cut on my hair, and you know, there's the drabness of feeling like not well enough to do it and not feeling like I look like me. And today I felt really good because I feel like I look like me. And you know, a 69-year-old me is who I am, and I'm fine with that. But when you feel like, oh, who is this beige woman? So, oh, I've just spotted the bodice of my blouse, so I'll bring it. So it is really nice. I'll put it that way around, and then you can see it does give me a bit of a lift. It's quite nice. Because at first, well, I shouldn't actually keep talking about it, but I thought about it, I wondered about it. So Hot had a sale, 20% off sale, of all, I'm going to say mileage, yardage, and I thought, I'm having it. I had a fat quarter and I'd weighed up, would I have it, would I not have it? And I pressed send, and then I went, oh, it's got orange in it. And I, not like Michelle at Sewing Bunny, I don't like orange near blue. I know they're opposite on the colour wheel and they're supposed to be complementary. I'm not a fan of orange near blue. So I kept thinking, I'll have to just pretend it's not there or minimise its its value. So I'm just telling you now, it's got orange in, and I'm going to try not to keep mentioning it because I've also seen it's got a really nice mint green. Yes, so I am really thrilled with it. It would be nice to make it up, and I think there'll be a feeling of accomplishment if I can do it. And if I can't, you know, it's a good quilting cotton. I can cut it into pieces and I can quilt something with it. So I'm going to finish there for now. There's one thing I want to say. I want to thank Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. Jen is the person who set up the hashtag. I'm going to say sewing blouse. Jen is the person who set up the hashtag. I forgot what it is. Okay, so I'd like to thank Jen at Jen in Today's Sewing Room. Jen is the wonderful person who has been sewing for years and years and very experienced and very lovely as a person. And she set up the hashtag Friday Sews. I was still going to start with sewing something then. Hashtag Friday Sews. Thank you, Jen. You are awesome. Now, there is meant to be a theme. Sometimes there is a theme, or Jen sometimes asks a question. But I didn't find out this for a while. And then when I did find out, she usually asks it in her Friday Sews vlog. Well, I've already recorded mine and have it on the list to come out the night before she... whatever. So I apologise for never doing the theme and never answering the questions. The only one that stood out for me is, am I an in it or an out it? And that is to do with when you have a pattern, do you cut your notches outward or inward? Well, I cut my notches outward. That's the answer to that. I think that was about 7 weeks ago when she asked that. So I want to wish you lots of love and lots of happy sewing time, and thank you ever so much for watching. I'd love it if you gave a thumbs up. If you give a comment, please, I absolutely adore comments, and don't let the fact that I keep not being able to reply to them because I have some sort of mental block put you off. But I really appreciate everyone who comments, and thank you ever so much for watching. So I apologise my hair's a bit straggly. It's just how it is today. And if it's one of those things, if you wait till everything is perfect, your lighting's perfect, your microphone's right, your hair's been washed, everything, I'd never have set up this channel and never have done my first video, which is over 2 years ago now. And I talked quite tenderly about my mum and looking after my mum and her help with me and my sewing, and the fact that she had Harold and used to put Harold on her chest at night soon after my dad died, and it gave her some comfort. So I just appreciate you being there. Thanks ever so much. Bye for now.